Good morning, friends, and welcome back to another video. We are seeing another musical today. So give me 2 seconds, let me wash my face, and then let's get into this video. Alright, so let me tell you what I've done so far today. I woke up and immediately started editing. This video is going to come out much later, but current day I'm working on what I'm calling shortmas. With my life, there's truly no way I could ever do vlogmas, where YouTubers, vlog their days and put out a new video every day. But I work a full-time job and have other obligations, and especially with Christmas and everything coming up, that's just not feasible for me to film and edit a video every day. So instead I'm doing shortmas, where I'm going to film and edit a YouTube short. A lot less of a time commitment, and we'll see how I do. You'll know how successful shortmas was by the time this video comes out. So, got up, edited, and then just waited for my parents to get here. Now, my husband and I just got off of a cruise, and so our dog, Titus, was actually at their house, and so they brought him back. So it's very exciting to finally see him again. I missed him. But we did have a very nice, relaxing cruise, not having to think about a dog. Titus! Hi, buddy! Oh, I missed. Hey, buddy. Hi. Hi! Hi, did you have fun at Grandma and Grandma's? And now here we are in the bathroom, getting ready for today's musical. So today we are seeing Funny Girl, which I'm very excited about, but also trying to keep my hopes down a little bit, because the only reason I'm excited about it is because I grew up in the Glee era, and Lea Michele's character, Rachel Berry, always talked about Fanny Bryce and Funny Girl. It's one of those full circle moments, when Lea Michele got booked as Fanny Bryce on the actual Broadway. So I really have no clue, though, what this musical is about. I just have heard so much about it from Glee. So, though I'm very excited, I am keeping my expectations low, because again, I have no clue what we're getting into. A little bit of blush. A little bit of highlighter. Now, if it seems like I'm rushing, I am a little, by a lot, behind on time. But would it really be my channel if I wasn't? Jeez. I am looking forward to the one song I know in this musical, because every time I think of it, again, I think back to the Glee episode where it's sung. But other than that, I have not listened recording of any of it. The only other exposure I've had to Funny Girl is through the TikToker Amber, I forget what her last name is, who was on Funny Girl recently when Jane Lynch was in it and when Lea Michele was in it, so saw behind the scenes stuff there. But again, that's all I know. That's it for makeup. So before we leave the bathroom and I go get dressed and we get out of here, let me give you the synopsis of Funny Girl from the Straz Center's website. Featuring one of the greatest musical scores of all time, including classic songs, Don't Rain on My Parade, I Am the Greatest Star, and People, this love letter to the theater is a story of the indomitable Fanny Bryce, a girl from the Lower East Side who dreamed of a life on the stage. Everyone told her she'd never be a star, but then something funny happened. She became one of the most beloved performers in history, shining brighter than the brightest lights on Broadway. So with that, let's get dressed and go. Mom's here and ready. I'm here and ready.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Are you excited?
I am excited because Melissa Manchester is in this, and I saw her a long time ago. And I believe it's going to be our favorite setup with an orchestra in the pit, is what I'm predicting.
So you know what time it is.
Time for lunch. Yes. Cheers.
It's not bad for a jam.
Okay. I agree. It's not bad for gin.
Because I'm not a big gin.
Also glad we're splitting it.
Very sweet.
A little bit.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
We may have seen Funny Girl, but no funny business in this video, so let's get to our review. So we'll start with the look.
I thought the look was great. I loved it. My first thought is it reminded me of an old school musical that I saw many years ago on Broadway, where you went and saw a show, and that's when you fall in love with musicals, because that's what this kind of was. So they used a lot of backdrops, and there were a lot more props than what we're used to seeing in the past season.
I really liked the beginning of the stage looked old-timey.
It did.
And then I didn't notice it until later, is like they had the gold lights like lining the stage too, that were really cool. The only thing I didn't necessarily like, but it didn't like, take away from the show, was some of the backdrops were very abstracty. For example, towards the beginning, it's a scene of a street and they're playing cards and Fanny's getting ready, so it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly if they're in the house or on the street, but you still kind of got a sense that they were home in a comfortable area.
Right, but it was actually very different from stuff we've seen in the past, where a lot of stuff we've seen.
And the costuming was fantastic.
Oh, beautiful costumes.
You know, when I think of Funny Girl, I think of the iconic, there's the red sparkly number at the end.
Yes.
And you think of the red trench coat and her black hat.
Right.
And it just loved seeing it.
And the other thing that was cool about this too was it was a vaudeville show within the story, and the costumes in the vaudeville show were very true to the period of time when this took place in the 20s, I think mid-20s. And so the costumes were just, they were what you would have expected if you had gone to a vaudeville show.
All right, moving on to sound. Superb. This is the first show, I think we can say this, that the sound, the mixing, there was nothing they needed to fix.
They had an orchestra in the pit, and at first they were playing pretty loud, but when the singers came out, they were able to sing above it. And I think it had a lot to do with that the singers had strength in their voices. Fanny Brice, the gal who played her, when she was singing her last notes, her voice filled the theater. I mean, just filled the theater. And like, there were times when she would sing and I was getting chills because her voice was so powerful. I mean, it was like perfect. It was like perfect.
I had chills a majority of the time she sang.
And even there were three older ladies, and even these three older ladies, maybe not the two, but Mrs. Brice, her mom, she could belt out a song that was just great.
Moving to music to dialogue ratio. Now this one we kind of struggled with a little bit coming up with our scores. As Mom mentioned earlier, it was almost like a play within a play because there was a vaudeville play aspect to it, and that had a lot of singing. But the play in total, if you took out the vaudeville, there was a good amount. It was a good mix.
It was a good mix of dialogue to singing.
All right, lastly, overall execution.
It was very well done. I liked the way they transitioned from scene to scene because they used the entire stage. And the other thing that I did not mention, the dancing, the tap dancing.
Oh my gosh.
There was tap dancing in this show. And the tap dancing was just so cool.
I really wish more musicals did tap dances. What was really cool is it was a play within a play, but the vaudeville show aspects of it, it made it seem very real. At one point, they interacted with the audience, getting us hyped up.
Yes, getting us ready for the show.
Every time, that Fanny was doing in the vaudeville show, it felt like that was the show.
And she was talking to you, she was talking to the audience when she was making reference to an audience. It was us. So we were there watching this. It was cool. It was just cool.
I honestly had chills the majority of the show. And also, just to make a note, for the first time in a long time, we saw all the principal
players, the actors, all the actors.
The principal actors.
Were the people actually listed in the book?
Well, you didn't have any understudies.
No. They all did a great job too.
Yeah. So I think that sums up our review.
Yeah.
Let's get to the numbers.
For look, I gave it a 5. For sound, a 5. For music to dialogue ratio, I gave it a 4, and it was really because there was just a little too much singing in it for me. And the execution, I gave it a 5. So my overall rating is a 5.
For look, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. For sound, a 5. Music to dialogue ratio, same boat as mom, we're gonna give it a 4. And for execution, we're gonna give it a 5. So my total is a 4.5. Now, would you recommend it?
Totally recommend. Totally 100%.
It was a good show.
It was good. It was
had
funny.
Some life lessons.
Yes, yes. It was funny.
It was funny.
I'm just so excited because this is the beginning of the season for us, and I loved this show as much as I did. I'm looking very much forward to the rest of them.
So that is it for today's review. Our next musical is
Company.
I hope you enjoyed. If you ever see Funny Girl, let us know what your thoughts are down below. But we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.